Hey everyone, it's that math magician. On this video, we're going to continue to look at prisms, but this time we're going to see, can we find the surface area of a cylinder? Now remember, if you haven't yet watched that first video on what a prism is, I highly recommend that you check out that video where I introduce and define what a prism is, because right now, we're not going to do that. We're going to jump right into an example problem where we have a cylinder and we want to find its surface area. Now, what does it mean to find surface area? What that means is that we really just want to find the area for all of the sides of our prism. In this case, we have our circular prism or our cylinder. Remember that a cylinder has a base shape of a circle. Notice that you see that base shape at the top and you also see it at the bottom. Now, a cylinder is actually unique in this way, is that it has the top side, it has the bottom side, and then it has a single side that is wrapped around that shape, okay? That is the only other side there. And what you have to really think about is that you want to find the area for all three of those sides. The area on the top, the area on the bottom, and then the area surrounding that side. Now, with our cylinder, it might be helpful for you to imagine, what if we were able to sort of cut along the cylinder and then open it up? Because if you can open up the cylinder, then you'll see what that shape is that's actually wrapping around the cylinder shape. And I actually have a nice net diagram here to show you of a cylinder that's been cut open, where we can see the sides of that 3D shape. Notice that we have the circle on the top, we have the circle on the bottom, and then we have this rectangular shape here that is in essence the side that's wrapping around the cylinder. A nice analogy for this is, think about a soup can and the soup can label. This rectangle here is the label for the soup can. And if you ever cut open a soup can and you unfold it, it ends up being a rectangle. Now that rectangle has a height. The height of that rectangle is the height of the cylinder. Now the length running across the top of it, notice that that length there is the distance that's going around the circle at the top and around the circle on the bottom. Really, that distance there is the circumference of our circle. So when we're finding the area of this rectangle, we're going to need to know the circumference of the circle and the height of the prism so that we can find its surface area. So now that we understand exactly what's happening with this cylinder, I think it's time now that we do work through this problem and determine what its surface area is. So I'm going to zoom out and we're going to work on this problem right now. I need to first find the area of the circle, either the circle on the top or the bottom. It doesn't really matter because both of them are the same circle. Well, I know that that circle there has a radius of 5 inches. I know that because in my diagram here, I was given that information. So to find the area of this circle, I will go ahead and use my circle formula, pi r squared, where r here is the radius of that circle. So that radius is 5. 5 squared, that's going to make 25 pi square inches. So that is the area for one of the circles. It's really the area for both circles, the one on the top, the one on the bottom. Now we got to find the area of that rectangle. Now the height of that rectangle is 15 inches. It's 15 inches because it's the height of the cylinder. Now we also got to find the length of that rectangle, 2 pi r. In this case, r is still the radius of that top circle, 5 inches. So when I plug in my 5 here, for my radius, I will see that that length, the circumference for that circle, is actually 10 pi inches. So now we have the two sides for that rectangle. We can find the area of that side just by taking the area of a rectangle formula, base times height. We'll go ahead and do 15 times 10 pi, and we'll end up with an answer of 150 pi inches squared. Whoops, I just wrote inches there. I gotta write inches squared. So, we're getting the surface area of the cylinder. I know the area of the top and the bottom circle, and I now know the area of the side wrapping around the cylinder. I can finally determine what the surface area is just by taking the area of both circles, each of them being 25 pi. That represents the top, this represents the bottom area, and then adding it to the area of the rectangle wrapping around the cylinder, 150 pi. We add all of those up, 25 and 25 make 50, 50 plus 150. Our total surface area is 200 pi square inches. And that is how you find the surface area of a cylinder. Two things you need. First, area of the circle on top. It's the same as the area on the bottom. Then you gotta find the area of the rectangle wrapping around the cylinder. Remembering that that length across the rectangle is the circumference of that circle. It's that math magician, and I'll see you on the next video.